Hello and how are you? Welcome to this platform, a platform that is dedicated towards your wellness and holistic growth. Precious people, today I want us to talk about turning your scars into stars and changing your thorns into roses. When we talk about thorns, by definition, something that comes in our mind, they are the weapons and the guards that flowers use to protect themselves from the predators. In one way or the other, that is one way that we can see thorns. But another way, one of the advantages of the thorns to flowers, that they minimize the rate of transpiration, or rather a rate of water loss. Some of the thorns in the desert, like cactus, they always have these thorns, and those ones are the leaves of cactus. They preserve water. To a cactus or to the plants that have thorns, they are advantageous and they have benefit. But to the people like us, or human beings and animals, they are our enemies. By definition, thorn is something that pricks, and after pricking, there is pain that comes after that pricking. And after pricking, there is a scar that is left. And the scar that is left will be there to remind us of the pain that we went through and the blood that we shed when we got pricked. A rose has thorns also. But when Valentine's period comes, when lovers want to celebrate their love, they forget about the thorns, because of the scent of the flower may make them even forget the thorns, that rose also have some thorns. Dear friends, we have thorns in our lives, and we have roses in our lives. The roses makes us forget about the thorns, but the thorns remind us of the pain, and sometimes they remind us of the scars that they had. We have of thorns remind us of the pain inflicted. Thorns have different sizes. They are long ones, they are short ones, and with how long the short they are, the sizes of thorns, they have different ways of how they inflict pain. The long ones inflict deep pain, and some are just pricking us. But all of them, they have one name, that they are thorns. That is the ELCM that they share. What am I talking about? In real life situation, I have used thorn like an analogy of what we all go through. We all have gone through thorns, and these thorns come in different ways. There are thorns who are our cousins. There are thorns that are our bosses. There are thorns that are our either parents. There are thorns that are our friends. There are thorns that are our spouses, and sometimes the children. Some of the painful moments that we went through when we were growing up may have been conflicted or inflicted by our close friends and those whom we trust. We might have gone through molestation. Maybe you were molested with either your uncle, you are molested whether with your brother, or you are molested with your aunt. Sometimes you are left in the hands, you are entrusted in the hands of a relative. And this relative, because they have their children whom you call the cousins, you are made a maid to work to take care of them, while they were left to go to school. Because the mother or the parents knew that when they go to school, they'll be successful in life, and you'll just remain there, and you have a useless life. Sometimes you are oppressed and someone gave you a beating to a point that they left you to die. Maybe your hands were chopped off. Maybe someone poured an acid on you. Maybe hot water. Maybe hot tea. And when you see the curse on your body, you feel like you have rage again. You want to give back in terms of vengeance. You want those who exposed you to pain also to go through painful moment. Sometimes they've made peace with the death and they have died. But the pain they inflicted on you still remind you of what you went through. Sometimes when one of them died, you said, I will not go even to bury the person because he or she was wicked towards me. Maybe your boss just oppressed you by either telling you you cheat on your husband or your spouse so that you get promotion. Maybe you feel this guilt. Maybe someone molested you or raped you. Maybe the guns came in your house and raped you. You conceived and got a child. And you have resentment towards this child because he or she was an unplanned child. But the child is innocent. Dear friend, I may not tell you that I understand your pain, that I know what you are feeling, but I can imagine that you have a big weight to carry. I know there are things that remind you of the past. Some of the people, you are raised in an environment where people used to shout. You grew up you never experienced a peaceful environment. Anytime now, if you walk around, if anyone shouts or you get a shout, it's like the person shouting towards you. You have trauma. Dear friends, I know these are pain and the scars that are thorns in our lives. To them it was advantageous and benefiting. They enjoyed when these things were going on. Friends, you feel so hard and you ask yourself so many questions. Where was God when this was going on? Was I the only person that was supposed to go through this? I'm unlovable and they left me useless. I want to tell you this today because sometimes you feel like there is still this person that is still alive and you feel in your heart that you want to avenge and you want to see this person in prison. You want to see this person either being dead or being killed. Either you are hatching a plan to kill the person. Someone you entrusted, maybe a lawyer or advocate, with your property, and they have exchanged in their names. They left you with the empty scoffers, and you feel like you need to get revenge. You ask so many questions, and truth is, those questions are real questions. You are not wrong in asking them. And you need answers, and some answers are bad answers, or you don't have answers at all. But I want to tell you this. Before you go through to initiate whatever you want to initiate, ask yourself this question. How are you going to benefit after you have done what you are planning to do? Maybe you want to kill yourself because you can't hide yourself anymore. Maybe you slept with somebody's husband or wife and you got pregnant and the person that was not able to take you in. And you feel like the person has to pay. Sometimes you're chased away from home. You lived with your relatives. They paid your school fees. That because of self-identity and discovery, your peers made you do things and you conceived and got a child and you're chased away because you brought shame in that family. You have worked yourself out and the person who made you pregnant denied the child. You have worked and raised the child. Now the child is old enough and the father comes back and says, I want to share whatever the child has. And you feel pain, you feel like you want to put some poison. Sprinkle some and apply some poison on his food. Or you want to kill your boy, your wonderful child. No child writes a letter in this world. No child writes a letter to any other person. Children, by definition, they are innocent. No one writes a letter to be born in this family or that family. We find ourselves in the families. And it's not a mistake of God that you are born. It is by design. You need to ask yourself, why was I born in this family? What can I do to make this family better? I ask you this question. If you kill yourself, will you have achieved anything in life? If you kill that person, whom your heart tells you must die, what will you have achieved? Will you not be walking around with a cage, a prison in your heart? If you avenge by starting to mistreat the children of those who made you go through a lot of pain, will you not be just the same with the people? Before you do something, ask yourself, how is it going to heal my wound? Some of the holes that we have are hard to fill. But the question is it this thing that you're planning to do? Is it going to help even a quarter of it to fill the hole? Or is it going to keep digging the hole even deeper? Dear friends, the things that you go through in life, they are either made to shape us or they are made to destroy us. The past that you went through, the reason as to why you are still alive, there are people who are born of the same age, who are born in those years that you are born. If you go to statistics, they will tell you that those mothers who died when giving birth, there are those children who are born the same day you were born and they died. Question is, why were you left alive? And if God had a purpose for you, why did you go through what you went through? The evil of man does not cancel the grace, love of God. Men by nature, they tend to leaning towards evil. But God, one of the attributes is that God is love. I want to tell you that when you were born, God existed. The Bible says that in Genesis 1, that in the beginning God created heaven and the earth. You are asking about God's existence. In Genesis tells you God created heaven and the earth, and you say God is in heaven, and he created heaven, and he created the earth. Where was God before creating heaven? Can God be confined to heaven that he had created? Can a creator be confined by a creature? So God is greater than the creature. So he was outside the existence of heaven because God himself is existence. Remember, he tells Moses that I am who I am. He has not given a specific name. I am whom I am just means I exist. I am the source of existence. And everyone that exists in this world, it is through God, the source, that all came from, and through him all will go back. And bad things that happens to us is not because God has allowed them to do so. Sometimes we go through a lot because we're born with people who are evil. But God gives us the capacity to go through the same. If you look at the life of those who are enjoying life when you are young and you're being mistreated, you grew up and matured faster than them. And the way you see life is different from the way they see life. You have different lenses from them. You define the world in different ways. Your definition of the world and the way you tackle things in life is different from them. It is because of the pain you went through that matured you. It was not by design that you go through the pain, but it was a chance that was made. It was a chance, and you felt to be a victim. Dear friends, I want to tell you a story about two prisoners. One, they were in the same cell, And you know, in a cell there is a small window, and those windows have iron bars. The guard asked one of the prisoners, "If you look through the window, what can you see?" This prisoner was so pessimistic and answered, "I can see a small window. That reminds me that I'm confined in this cell. I can't see outside because my freedom has been taken away. I know I'm confined to die, and this is the end of me. There is no hope beyond these walls." Then the guard turned to another prisoner and asked the same question. The prisoner said, "When I look through the window, I can see the light coming, which tells me there is hope for the future. I can hope that I can see tomorrow because I can see the light, and I know I'm still alive, not dead. If I can see light, I know I'm still alive and not dead. The reason as to why I am here is not because of what people did to me. It is because the choices I made. And I'm suffering because of the choices I made in the past. Being in prison has helped me to release myself from self-imposed prison. When I was a gang leader, I was a prisoner of myself. I got a happiness when people were suffering. But now I've learned things that I could not have learned when I would be outside. I've learned how to love and to care for people. I've learned how to share, and I've learned how to be kind. I've achieved some of the certificates and degrees that I would not have achieved because I had no time to go to school. It is because of hate that drove me to do things that I did. But I've realized that through this wall, the four corners, have been constrained to discover myself. I know that outside there is high wall, but that high wall is just constraining my movement now to protect me from the world outside. If I would have been in the world outside, maybe I would have died. Maybe I would have been shot. Maybe another rival gang would have killed me. But I thank God that I'm here. Friends, these are two people in the same prison but have different perspective and lenses in life. Pain is the same, but experience is different. Look at life with the different lenses. There is a chance for you. The pain that you went through has made you to be a mine, and you have resources that if mined through love, if mined through introspection, if you look deep inside of you, there are some virtues, there's some character that you develop because of pain, perseverance that some people would not have developed. They have developed to take care of themselves. You have developed to take care of yourself. So many people who are rejoicing when you're growing up, maybe they are not rejoicing. Maybe some of them are addicts. Do not rejoice because they are addicts. Do not rejoice when your oppressors suffer. It does not make you to be a better person. Our pain that you went through teaches us how to be better people. It is okay. It is not okay that you went through what you went through. But what has it made you to be this time? I want to tell you this, dear friend. The past should be the seed that you plant in the present to harvest in the future. But the past and your pain should not define your future. Those two prisoners who are in the prison, confined within the walls, but they may have been so free than those who walk outside. Because true freedom is a freedom that frees one from self-bondage. These people you keep in your heart is prison. You have made cages in your heart, And every cage, you have kept every individual. Some molested you. If you have this, kindly seek medical, seek counseling, because it's a trauma. I can imagine. Let us make decisions that will help us, not destroy us. If we go with vengeance and pain, we are not much better than those who oppressed us. Dear friends, we have gone through a lot. You have questions you asked in this life. You ask questions, why was I the one who was allowed to go through this? Why was I molested? Was there God anywhere to protect me? Why those whom I trusted betrayed me? The questions you are asking are not bad questions. They are good questions and they need answers. But if you get wrong answers, you may end up having mental problems, and continue having those mental problems will make you destroy your life and yourself. Remember what I said, that you may be having questions and you get bad answers or no answers at all. Dear friends, there is a reason as to why you are still alive today. You have a mandate and a mission. If there is a thought of committing suicide and killing yourself comes in your mind, know that that thought is enemy to your progress. If you die, that does not mean that everything has been solved. No. If you leave your children or your spouse, they will grieve for 2 years or more. But you would have died. Would you have saved anything? If you kill someone who oppressed you, the person will die and will be buried. But you will keep on hiding evidence that is pointing towards you the rest of your life. Isn't it a prison? Some of the things that you do out of anger and ignorance leads us to more worse situations than we were before. Pain can make us to be better people than before, because we are not evil than those who made us go through those hurtful periods. You can do better with your pain. Your pain can help you even to understand other people who are going through the same. You can counsel somebody. You can give hope to someone who is going through the same. And you can tell the person there is a chance that you can come out stronger. Remember, those who oppress others, their ego feeds in your resistance. When a victim resists, you feed the ego of an oppressor. An oppressor is disarmed when the victim does whatever the oppressor wants without objection. But when you start objecting, he takes another lethal weapon to suppress your resistance. When you have been suppressed, then the oppressor will rejoice, because oppressors rejoice when the victims suffer. But when a victim knows and realizes that I can learn of my oppressor and disarm my oppressor by being humble, but not only being humble, be humble but wise. As you go through doing this, be humble as wise. Do not show your oppressor that you're looking a way out of escape. Comply. Do everything that oppressor wants, but not those things that will bring harm to you. As you comply with the little things, contact people who can help you out. I know you can do that. I know you have courage. You have lived this life. You have gone this far. I know you've gone through drug abuse. I know you've gone through oppression. I know you were once an addict, or you are an addict right now, you can still come out stronger. You can still be a victor. Do not be a victim, but be a victor.